Let's talk. It's Toya, and I'm back with another recap review of My 600-Pound Life. Season 7, Episode 10. Let's talk about Desiree. Now, I'm going to be honest off the bat. I almost feel like this was probably one of my favorite episodes ever. And I've watched it from the beginning to now. And I've watched every episode at least 5 times. At least. Probably more. But Desiree, probably one of my favorite. And I'm going to tell you why along the way. So let's just jump right in here. Desiree, 27-year-old. She is from Louisiana, about 4 hours from Texas. And her story is a little different, but not really. She was born as a male, but she's not the first transgender on the show. If you can recall, a few seasons back, there was a Shay. He was on there, or she was on there. And the first season, though, he didn't come out as transgender. It wasn't until Where Are They Now that we found out that he was transgender. Anyway, we're not talking about Shay. We're talking about Desiree. So Desiree was born a male. We start these, they pretty much, very similar. Not to down anyone's story, but the stories are usually very similar. I think his name was Matthew. And he started out very hard childhood. His mother was white. His father was black. I guess the mother's parents kind of just disowned her for the interracial relationship, and the mom was on her own from the beginning. Had him when she was 16, I believe, and then she had 2 other kids. So she had 3 kids at a very young age and pretty much out on her own. So started off as a rough childhood from the jump. And I guess the mom started, stealing. She had a hard time, trying to provide for them. And so they ended up in foster care. I think they got to stay together for a while. But then the lady that was over them in foster care ended up dying. So they ended up getting split up and broken into different homes. And so this is where he picked up a lot of weight. Matthew picked up a lot of weight. I think I'm trying to be getting these numbers right without writing them down. I think he said by the age of 9, he was 150. And then by the age of 13, he was 350, if I'm right. Somewhere in there, those numbers in there, somewhere in there. So anyway, he never really had a relationship with his dad. In his teenage years, his father died after his dad really just kind of rejected him. So never had that relationship. I think once he got in his teens, he did come out as gay. And at first, he didn't really have much support. But then his mom, and I think he said one of his sisters came around. And then, he kind of had that support. Another thing that happened at 18, his mom had got another family. And I think he had 2 other half-siblings. And he actually lived with them for a while. So I think that's when things got a little bit better. But then, take a turn. His younger brother died, and that's when he just really hit rock bottom and picked up a lot of weight again after that, because they were really close. And she said that he died in her arms. So that's where it really got bad. Then I think at 22, she said she started living as a female, changed her name to Desiree. She was working, but then, they wouldn't accept her as female, so she couldn't use the bathrooms and get jobs and stuff like that. The timelines in that wasn't too clear, but let's keep the story going. So, 22, I say a lot. I'm trying to say a lot too. So 22, she started, 22, she starts living as a female. And this is one of the reasons why I say that this episode was a little different and why this was probably definitely one of my favorite episodes, okay? I feel like Desiree was repping for the big girls. Hair always done, makeup always slay. I mean, she'd have her tight little clothes on and her little flats with the little poofy stuff on. I feel like she really took care of herself, and care what she looked like, which, I hate to say it, but you don't really, in these episodes, it's very few people that really care that much about their physical appearance. And so that was different. Like I said, hair done, makeup slay, nails did. So, and I thought she was pretty. Like I said, she had these little tight dresses on. She looked pretty. Anyway, so started living as a female and just really didn't get much acceptance from small town Louisiana. finally, so episode starts like every other episode. She gets up. Here's where I think it's a little different too. I think there's only been 2 cases where I feel like the people was totally, what's the word? Independent. It was totally independent. Like, she really didn't need that much help outside. Like, she drove, she cooked, she cleaned, she got herself ready. I felt like she was very independent and mobile, didn't really need that many people. So she decided she was going to see Dr. Now. Her mom went with her, and her younger sister went her. Again, this proves my point. She drove the entire way. It was 4 hours. I think her sister couldn't, was too young. Her mom had eye problems. So she literally drove the entire 4-hour trip. It didn't take long. It didn't take days. They just did it. So they get to Dr. Now's office. Here's another reason why I like Shay. I think her weigh-in weight was 668. Now, they didn't say how tall she was, but I feel like she was at least 6 feet. If she wasn't 6 feet, she had to be 5'10", 5'11". She was tall, and she was very proportionate, you know. So this is another reason why I liked her. She was very direct and very polite and respectful. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. She told the truth. She had never, this was another different, I feel like it was she had a lot of things that we really don't see in this show. She had never dieted before. I don't know. I don't feel like it's that many human beings, whether they are skinny or overweight, that hasn't been on some type of diet, especially by the age of 27. I know by 27, I had been on 8,000 diets. Weight up and down, up and down, up and down. But she had not been on any diet. 668 pounds, had never attempted a diet. She said, she told Dr. Now that. And he was like, okay, I feel like he was kind of taken aback, like, you never attempted to lose weight? She was like, no. He's like, okay, well, do what he do, put you on a 1,200 calorie diet, low carbs, high protein, come back in 2 months, 80 pounds. And I thought it was going in a good place because, like I said, she was very very independent. She had her friend come over. They started walking every day. I mean, she was very active. She could sit on the floor, get up. She was doing a lot of moving. Like, physically, she was very active and very mobile, even agile. I would use that word. And when she went back, they showed her eating a lot of salads. When she went back, she had only lost like 24 pounds. And Dr. Now was like, and I think he said it later, like, you're a binge eater. I think you do good on the program and then you binge. I feel like she's definitely a binge eater and definitely probably a closet eater because the production team never caught her slipping or sneaking once she started on diet. So probably once production left, she went and got her snacks and treats and stuff because I felt like with the amount of activity that she was doing, the math did not correlate and the math did not add up. So this happened month 2. He like, no, you need to come back. So a couple more times she went back and forth, back and forth. One time she went back, she had only lost 17 pounds in 2 months. And again, the activity just did not add up. So here's another, like I said, she did a lot of things that was kind of the first time you never seen. Now she's only 4 hours away. Now that's kind of like right at Dr. Now's cusp where you don't have to move. But she decided, look, I'm surrounded by enablers. I've been living in this environment. It has got me to this. I need to get out of here on my own. And she just found her an apartment, moved herself. She didn't have any help moving. She hired her some movers. She was physically moving, getting stuff out of her house, clean her own apartment. Like, you don't see that on this show. That's why I felt like she was really repping for the big girls. Like, she was doing it. Like, she was 668 pounds, but she was handling her business. So she moved to Texas to show like, hey, I'm all in. I'm getting out of this circle followed by my environment. You know, it was new for her. She had never been apart from her family, but then she wanted something new. She was in a small town. She felt like she would get more acceptance in a bigger city. So she went ahead and moved, got in, weighed in, barely lost nothing. Dr. Now like, look, you need to stop. You need some help. You need to go to therapy because you are not coping in the right way. Like, her mom had some heart problems, some heart issues, and Dr. Now did his spiel. Like, what he do? He'd be like, look, stress is going to happen. I'm sorry for that, but stress is going to happen no matter what, no matter who you are. You cannot use food as that, and your time is running out. Basically, he was like, your time is running out. I'm sending you to therapy. You got this your last chance. You got to come back in 2 months, lose this 80 pounds, or I'm done. So she does. She starts seeing my favorite therapist, Lola. And Lola gave her some homework to do, and she did. She did her homework. She did above and beyond her homework. She went to the graveside, talked to her brother, released some of those things. She also started doing things that she always wanted to do. She took a burlesque class. I was like, that looked kind of interesting. And like I said, she was very agile, and I use the word flexible too. She got up off the floor, was on the floor, got up, was stretching, doing all this stuff. I felt like she was repping for the big girls. I'll say it again. Anyway, past that. So she moves to Texas. She knows, like, look, this is my last chance. I got to get, oh, and before that, she had a scare. She thought her stomach, I think Dr.Now had thought it was her appendix, but it wasn't, you know, so he had checked her out, but she hadn't lost the weight. So he's like, look, this is your last chance for real. So back rewind to where I was at. So 2 months, she's living in her own apartment by herself. She did have a friend there that was one of her sister friends there. So now she do got somebody there that's her friend there. So that was really good. Get the girl name. It's a young girl. So they walk in, exercise, and she looked like she doing her work. Again, the camera never caught her cutting up or cheating. But once she got there, that's why I liked her. She was like, yeah, I fell off program. You know, I let stress get to me. I messed up. But when she came back, finally, I think it was month 8, she had lost 62, 63 pounds. The doctor now was like, this ain't the 80 pounds, but I'm going to go ahead and approve you for surgery. And so that was good. But he did what he been doing lately. He was like, come back in 2 months. You need to lose 50 pounds. If you don't, we ain't having surgery. And so she did. She had lost that pound. She had got down to, like, I want to say her surgery weight was like 502, something like that. She did really good. It was like low 504, 502, something like that. But this wasn't until month 10 because he waited 2 months. So month 10, she goes have the surgery. And then again, we only have a couple months. I think hers was the average weight loss. She lost like maybe 240, 250 pounds. She looked good at the end of it. She was afraid of losing her curves and stuff with losing the weight. But I'm excited to see Desiree and where are they now. I believe she's going to hit her goals. I believe she's going to hit them pretty quickly and pretty fast. So I'm excited to see her and where are they now. Like I said, I thought this one was to me, it was a little bit more refreshing than the other ones because this girl was mobile. She was agile. She was independent. She was doing her own thing. And she was very direct, very upfront, very honest. It wasn't a lot of games with her. That's what I respected and liked about her, which was kind of different than a lot of the other episodes. Like, she was doing her own thing. So I appreciated that. I appreciated this season. I don't know how many episodes I left. I feel like this has been a long season, which I'm glad for. I'm here for it. But I just feel like I want them to switch it up next season. Leave some comments. Let's get this dialogue coming. I want to know what y'all think about what they can do. I'm going to make a whole video after the season is over about changes that I like to see and things that they could implement. Definitely. I already said it in my last video. They need to not starting this 12th month until they had the surgery so we could see the weight loss. That's what we like to see. 600-pound life, TLC, we like to see the weight loss. We like to see the transformation. All this back and forth, 10 months to have the surgery, come on. Y'all leave a comment what y'all think about that. But I'm out of here. If y'all like these reviews, give me a thumbs up. Share these videos with the other 600-pound lifer lovers so we can build this community up. I'm like a TLC head. I love TLC. I like Seek a Sister Wife. I'm going to do a video about that. I like my Sister Wives. I mean, that's a whole nother, I'm doing a video about that too. I'm almost done with that show. It's running its course for me. But anyway, that's the end of this video. I appreciate y'all for watching. I'm out of here.